Ladies and gentlemen, it is a weird, wild world out there, folks. And here we stand. What is it? Al pie del cañón. I have this nervous anxiety about getting that wrong all the time. Ready for anything? I'm Rob. That's Patricia. That's Natch. And you're listening to
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show on this marvelous, beautiful day. How are you doing, Patricia?
I'm very well.
Welcome to the show. We've been talking about this for like 3 weeks now. Finally, you're here.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
A lot. It's been a year, I hear you, so I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I think this is actually the 1 year anniversary of the show being on the radio rather than just on a stream, Natch. I think we've been doing the show for exactly a year now. I know in my podcast things, it starts around June sometime. So happy anniversary. Happy ProBoh anniversary, everyone. Let's see who we've got in the chat. We have Min. We have Eugene. So we have Russia representing. We have the Netherlands representing. We have Tina, I imagine, from Spain. Pedro from Instagram. Dia de Nero. How are you doing? Welcome. Born to Iron Man. And Rafelka. Oh, my God. What a great group of people. Close the doors, guys. We don't want any more riffraff coming in. We've got the quality right now. What's coming up in today's show? I ask 100 humans something that adults are bad at. Interesting question. Then in Complete the News, we are going to look at a robbery in a gas station. Un gasolinera, I think you say, right?
Una gasolina.
Una gasolina. Oh, God damn it. Why do you need to assign a gender to everything, Spain? It's not necessary. It doesn't need to be a woman. You know what I mean? Okay, let's continue. And then if we've got time, we're going to look at a man being kicked out of a gym. Interesting. But we have an amazing unpopular opinion, thanks to Patricia. But before we do anything else, friends, I'm here, you're here, Patricia, or a.k.a. Coco Lavanda is here. Let's see what's going on with the world. How are you doing first, Natch? How's it going, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think people believe that we don't talk outside of the radio shows.
It's true.
But it is true. Occasionally we go for a coffee as a group.
But today was an exception.
Today was an exception. When we have guests, we're like good parents. we just live in silence until a guest comes. Oh, hi, Natch. Hi, Rob. We're like divorcing parents, me and Natch. So let's see. So you're an influencer. Oh, you hate that word, right?
Yeah, I hate it because I think I don't merit that word,
at
least for me. Because the only thing I share is just my way of dressing or where I travel. And I don't like that. I think an influencer must be a person who is an example in life.
Yeah.
For example, that person who has a work, but after that, they want to create or fundate an association and a startup, for example. They are influencers for me.
Okay.
For example, sporty persons that works a lot. They had hard work, and they, for example, I think Diego Merida. Do you know him?
I have no idea who that is.
He wasn't famous some years ago, but once he was running a triathlon, and he had a very good jest. Did that exist? Jest? Un gesto?
He made a gesture. He made a gesture.
Yeah. So, competitive, un gesto deportivo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Explain what it was.
Well, he was in the 4th position in the race, and he was about finishing. And the man who was in the 3rd position, he confused the way to go. He was just straight on instead of turn left.
Okay.
And Diego passed by him, and he was going to last in the 3rd position, so being in the podium, but he stopped just before the finish line to
until
let the other one go. Yeah. So for me, and that person after that, he became a little more famous. And now he has created a foundation.
Yeah, he's founded a foundation.
He's founded a foundation.
Yeah.
Is repeating?
Yeah, good. No, perfect.
Okay. So of an illness, a weird illness.
Okay.
Because his brother is ill. So this kind of person for me is influencer.
Okay, but it's fair to say that you may influence people in how they dress, right? I think your niche more than
inspiration people, but I don't
You
influence.
inspire people.
Inspire people, yeah. But I don't influence.
But that's just a synonym of
no,
influence.
it's not the same. It's what I told you before. Spanish is very rich,
Yeah.
and we have
It's very rich.
Yeah, it's very rich.
Yeah, so I'm so grateful for all the
It's a very
misgendering you guys do. So nice to know that my pen is a male. El Bolígrafo, thank you, Spain. I had no idea before coming here that a cup had a gender, so cheers. Thanks for that. All right, so you don't like the word influencer, although I would argue to influence someone's decision, influire, right? At some kind of level, you would do that, I think. Even though you don't like the term, you think... Like, for example, it took me a long time to talk about myself, because I paint and illustrate. Yeah. It took me a long time to refer to myself as an artist. Because there's a lot... That word for me has a lot of weight. Tiene mucho peso, right? So it has a lot of weight, and I thought, well, I haven't earned that title. But people refer to me as an artist, and eventually I adopted it, right?
I think it's similar to what it happens to me.
Exactly. So, so introduce yourself and tell us about how your journey on Instagram began.
It began on Instagram some years ago, but the thing that I like to do, that is just dressing me and show the outfit. It began in 2013. When I was in the swimming pool and I was seeing a magazine, and I saw in the last page a little picture of a blogger.
Yeah.
And I loved that. And when I returned home, I just saw that blog in the internet, and I loved the work. Yeah. So at that time my boyfriend was abroad. So when he returned, we went to Riviera Maya. Yeah. And I had prepared all my outfits, and I asked him to take me photos.
Oh God, but I've seen poor guys. Poor guys.
Yeah, poor guys, because it's very difficult to find someone who wants to do that.
Oh man, so are you one of those typical partners who will ask the boyfriend to take photos?
Sure, but instead of that, okay.
A moment of silence for all those poor guys. Monuments
Rob,
and beaches.
When you're in a relationship, you want the other to be happy, so never mind.
And taking photos of me makes me happy. No, I get it. And because it's actually kind of... I guess, there's a special dispensation because you obviously have a lot of followers and you're still growing, which is amazing to me. A lot of people on Instagram now are complaining that they're not achieving the reach.
No, but it's true. It's very difficult. Yeah. There are things that helps. The Reels helps a lot. Yeah. But it's very difficult to get to new people because Instagram changes all the time, the algorithmics, and you never know what Instagram loves.
So it's a guessing game most of the time, right? Hay que jugar. I'm going
to
try real stories.
For example, in my environment, it's easier than yours because fashion. Almost every woman loves fashion, so it's easier.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, almost no women love me.
No. What I mean,
it's true.
What I mean is half of the population. You can go there because they love fashion. But for example, not everyone are interested on learning English or something like that. But on fashion is.
Let's take a quick look at the chat. Min is here. He says, normally you just scream your intro with no worries of being wrong. That's because I've got a guest. Man, I was nervous. Rafelka, good morning and happy anniversary. Thank you, Rafelka. Symbol, good morning. An influencer is an example in life. Again, you're putting too much weight on the word influencer.
I mean, I meant an influencer must be an example in life. A person who helps other people, a person who does something important to the world, not just a person who the only thing they share. I don't tell them that is the only thing they do. I say there is the only thing they share. So for me, it's not me. I'm not an influencer.
Yeah. Do you engage with your followers in any kind of way? For example, like I try and be very active now, much more active than before, replying to people on Instagram. It's like for a lot of people, growth right now on social media platforms is really difficult. Yeah. What do you think you're doing that most people aren't?
For example, well, as I told you before, my issue is different. It's easier to go down. But for example, Reels helps me a lot. There are accounts that shares other photos of other people. In my case, there are accounts who shares other Instagrammers' fashion. So that helps a lot to get to new people. I think that, for example, there is as well a possibility to publish. Publish. Maybe it's not the word. You can share the photos. Just and Instagram can share. Put that photos in other
they can publish
accounts.
It as a story. Right.
Exactly.
Guys, if you have any questions about this, please do drop us a line. We're going to go into the unpopular opinion today very, very soon, but I do have a few more questions. So your own personal style, you've developed a look, I would say, right, on your Instagram, and you describe it as daily street style, right?
Yeah, I some years ago I used to take clothes that is on fashion at that time. But now I don't like that. I like what it's called how can I say, a capsule wardrobe. And it means that you use pieces very simple with no pictures on that. And with colors like black, white, green or beige, but it's a palette very small, and my wardrobe is like that. So with that you can take whatever you want, almost wherever you want, and just have a new look. And that's my style.
Within your niche, the fashion niche, you mentioned before, like there's a lot of women interested in fashion, and that's why it's easier to grow within that niche, right? I mean, I think in my case, I'm just nicheless. I tell jokes, and that's my thing.
Yeah, but do you know what? It's impredictable. That is impredictable.
Yeah, it's very important. It's impressing.
You can you can predict. Predict. You can predict. Unpredictable. Because for example, sometimes I think, wow, that photo is amazing, and it has not as much as results as I thought. But for example, I remember one photo that I made just because I had to do that, because it was a collaboration, and I was not very happy with that, but it had a lot of
engagement.
So you never know.
Okay. Interesting. So do you keep up to date with the algorithm changes within Instagram, or do you just kind of react to the changes as they happen?
I don't care. It's not my job. And I don't want to be my job. I would like to earn money with that. It could be amazing, but I don't care a lot about that. I don't, I just do what I want. I don't mind if that has more reactions or not. I just do what makes me feel comfortable.
But you have partnered with brands, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Good morning, Coco, says Frank. How are you doing, Frank? Born to Iron Man. Sports is a very competitive world, but it doesn't mean there are values and unwritten rules which are above the target of winning the competition. Indeed. Great for the guy you've commented on. He will always be remembered for that nice gesture. He'll always be remembered for losing a race. Good for you.
No.
Well done for losing the race.
You know what? If he had been the third in that race, he would be unknown for everybody. And now he's not, because it is important to do the right thing.
It's important to be famous, not to win races.
No.
Sorry, I'm in unpopular opinion mode. Estoy en modo unpopular opinion. My bad. On that note, why don't we go to today's unpopular opinion?
Unpopular opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is an unpopular opinion? Well, today it's not mine. It's Patricia's, or Coco Lavanda. How are we supposed to pronounce your?
It is a very important question because I chosen Coco Lavanda because I thought it would be very easy in any language just to pronounce it. But Coco Lavanda. It's very similar, as you say. Coco Lavanda, but it's similar to Coco Lavanda.
In English, we would pronounce lavender. We would pronounce it lavender. Lavender.
Yeah, but we make no difference between V and B. Lavanda. Yeah.
Coco Lavanda. Okay, there you go. All right, so your unpopular opinion, your brain fat, your pedo cerebral, pedo mental, your rayada is iPhones are overrated.
Yeah.
Take us through this journey.
Yeah,
you know,
I have an internal fight with this, and anyone who knows me a little bit knows it, because I think an iPhone is a very good device. It works very well. It is expensive, but it's okay. But for me, I think people, there are two teams, Android ones and iPhone ones. And people who loves iPhone, they say that it's the best, but it has some weeks that for me that makes not having an iPhone instead of having an Android. For example, well, a lot of things says that it's very intuitive. Yeah. For me, it's not as much.
No. It's not intuitive at all.
But for me, the most important thing that makes me know having an iPhone, and I had twice an iPhone and I couldn't stand that, is that the name of the photos. Maybe for you, you're going to say that's foolish, but it's not. The name of the photos is IMG barra a number. A number that goes till 9,999. So when you take or you have the 10,000 photo, you have two photos with the same name. And the problem is when you take those photos to your computer.
It overwrites.
Exactly. And it's a problem for me.
You know, I don't think I've taken 9,999 photos in my life. I don't think
me, it's 3 months I have that.
In 3 months?
But not taken, but because in iPhone, the other problem is that any photo, it's called the same way. So if you take a screenshot, the name is exactly the same as if you take a photo, or really? If you receive a photo in the WhatsApp. So you have all the photos in the same place, in the same folder, and with the same name. In an Android, that doesn't happen. No. So.
Okay, let's look at what people are saying in chat. Born to Iron Man, I totally agree with you, Patricia. We see eye to eye. Pedro says, Patricia, I think the term influencer has been commonly associated with people with a lot of followers and social media who can influence habits in a way, including how they dress, where they travel, etc. So it should also apply to you, but I get your point. Yeah, I'm with Pedro on this. It's the nomenclature. It's basically how we refer to the job rather than how we refer to the person, you know what I mean?
But for me, it's unfair just to call me influencer.
It is unfair. You know, I've been trying to rebrand radio DJ as Awesome McSexy, and it's not happening. It's not happening. I would love like what I do to sound more important than what it is, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Let's continue. He says, I use iPhone because I'm just lazy to get used to something else. But yes, the price tag. There's a price tag in that laziness. That's a great point.
But the price tag for me is not the most important thing, because you pay $1,000 of euros, but it lasts 5 years or 6 years, and it's okay. But for me, the problem is the other one, and you cannot separate the photos that you take in the folder.
I mean, I paid 500 euros for my Android phone, and I've had it for like 6-7 years.
Okay. For example, with Samsung, it doesn't happen. It lasts 2 years or 3 years.
I learned that mistake very, very quickly. I used to have Samsung phones, and then I switched to Xiaomi. It's great, guys. Come on. iPhone is just a sign that you want to be different, and you can throw away money, says Rafael Cat. Great point. Rob is an influencer. No, I'm not.
I think more than me, because you maybe on Instagram you don't have thousands of followers, but you go to anyone's car For example, if I couldn't go to Twitch, you couldn't know that I listen to you. And I think it's happening right now. I think maybe on their car, on their way to work, they listen to you and you don't know.
Yeah, it could be, but I don't think, in your terms, I influence people. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'm making a positive change in life.
You don't think so? But for example, in your unpopular opinion, you just sometimes you change the poll. And on your Instagram, it says false, and then here true. So don't you think you influence people?
Yeah, but not in a positive, life-changing way. Like, my aim here is to make people think about every subject in a different way. You know what I mean? We all follow these trains of thought that are usually inherited. Like, for me, morality we tend to think of morality as if we'd made it in stone and it never changes. These are my values. And what interests me is introducing people to the concept that morality is fluid, depending on a situation, on the person you're interacting with. Our morals change. I don't lie. I feel like lying is wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Yet, when my godchildren come to me, I will talk about Santa Claus and how great he is, about the Easter Bunny,
ratoncito. There are a lot of levels of lies.
See how we've started to... This is an experiment. You see, you're proving my point exactly. This is an experiment of how our morality will change, even the way we use the language. That's a white lie. Es un...
Have you seen the film La vida es bella?
I have seen the film La vida es bella.
Do you think that father lied to his son?
I mean...
but because technically, but it was necessary just to make him know that.
But it doesn't make it any less of a lie. Like, so morality states that lying is wrong. Okay? Lying is wrong. We shouldn't lie. We should be honest people. However, our morality on the issue shifts. And we invent terms like a white lie in English.
Well, mentira piadosa. Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue with the chat. For me, mainly, it's the price, says Min. They look pretty good, but their UI isn't as flawless as people claim it to be. I would agree with that statement. The lack of integration with other systems is horrid. They don't last longer than any other phone. More than $1,000 for a phone that costs $400 to make. Book being dollar.
Yeah, I know.
You're paying $600 for a brand. Simply not worth it. Let's go to what the elves have said, because we're running out of time for this first part. So, of course, I whipped the elves this morning and they gave me their arguments. So in the pro column, arguing for the statement, iPhones are overrated. iPhones are often much more expensive than comparable smartphones, yet many of the features they offer can be found in less expensive devices. Compared to other operating systems like Android, iOS does not allow as much customization for the user interface and other settings. I don't know if my elves have mobile phones. I'm going to have to check their cells later. iPhones work best within the Apple ecosystem and are designed to encourage users to purchase other Apple products. This is a thing that I hate. This can be seen as restrictive and can lock users into Apple devices. True story. Arguing against this statement that iPhones are overrated, iPhones are often praised for their build quality and sleek design and attention to detail. The user experience is usually seamless and intuitive, which Min there argued that that's not always the case. iPhones are often considered to have stronger security and privacy features than many other smartphones. I think there's an element of truth to that. And finally, Apple provides regular software updates and supports their device for a long period of time, prolonging their usability and keeping them updated with the latest features and security measures. That last point there, I think Android does the same thing. The Androids are constantly updating, and you can always find apps for security.
Yeah, and after that, it's more and more hard to work with a mobile phone.
Exactly. Yeah. I have tons of issues. If you've ever listened to this show, you know I don't like Macs. I don't like Macintosh, Apple. Like, Apple are trying to trademark apples. Did you hear that on yesterday's show?
No. Yesterday I went to work very early, so I couldn't listen to the second part.
So there was a news story that Apple are trying to trademark images of apples. They're trying trademark. ¿Cómo se dice trademark? Hang on 1 second. They're trying to
trademark.
A trademark is a marca registrada.
Okay.
They're trying to identify every image of an apple as a part of their brand, basically.
Okay.
I think that's just stupid.
Yeah.
That just shows the nature of this company, creating cables, creating like digital or technological waste. Guys, I see there's a lot of comments in the chat. When we get back from this break, I will get to those and read those. Guys, thank you so much for being here this morning. Oh my God, and thank you, Patricia, and of course, the Natch. We've got so much more fun to come. Guys, so many things you could have been doing this morning, but look, instead of doing those things, you decided to take the time to spend some time with Coco Lavanda, Natch, and I, and it means the absolute world. Guys, see you soon. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay. On with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Guys, if you just tuned in, we're here talking with Patricia Coco Lavanda from Instagram, an influencer for the want of a better word. No tenemos otra palabra. So we're just going to say influencer.
Okay, perfect.
And we were speaking a little bit about the fashion niche within Instagram, growth on there, how you got started as an Instagrammer. Mm-hmm. And where do you see this going? I mean, you are one of the few accounts that I see that are constantly growing. Where do you see it as an end point for your growth on Instagram?
I don't see it. I just do it. And do you know what? Sometimes I feel that maybe I can close the account because that does not afford me.
It doesn't, give you anything.
Give me anything. Sometimes. Or I don't know if I'm going to continue. I don't have a goal with that.
What's the dark side of being an influencer on within your niche? What's the dark side? What's the negative part that you?
Well, sometimes you receive, not in my case because I'm not very known, but you receive a lot of bad comments.
Oh, really?
It's not a good criticism. Criticism is bad, just to hurt you, and if you don't have a hard mind, it can hurt you. Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about all those things. It's an interesting topic because I think, as you say, a lot of young people aspire to be influencers, which is kind of weird for me.
In Spain, I have seen a poll that's shown that, and for me it was a little bit sad. Yeah. Because, in other countries, their goal is being an attorney or a pilot or something that must have a lot of studies and you have to work a lot. I don't say that an influencer doesn't work because they do a lot. Yeah. But it means that you have to, in other works, you have to read a lot and to cultivate your mind a little more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement. It's an industry that didn't even exist 10 years ago. The idea of someone being famous just because they have a lot of followers on a website is crazy when you think about it. But I mean, they are important in the marketing industry, which is interesting to see where this will go, how it will evolve, because across every single social media platform, with the exception of TikTok, or across every kind of web.
Yeah, has stopped. They're increasing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's plateaued or it's decreasing, except for TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is interesting to me because that, to me, tells me that there is an opportunity there for influencers to make even more money. If people aren't advertising on...
we are as a media, as a society, where it's important to just seeing media some years ago we watched TV, and now we watch after that YouTube, and after that Twitch. I don't think if Instagram will die. There will be another platform. So that's not a problem. So we evaluate that could be exist in the future.
That platform now is TikTok, I think.
Yes, sure. You're right, because I had the luck last week to have a meeting in my work, and a person showed us a study, and she told exactly that TikTok, it was the only platform where it was increasing. And I prefer, as a user, I prefer TikTok than Instagram, because
me too, a little bit, honestly.
It is very well. I don't open it because I can stay over there almost an hour without knowing that.
Addictive. It's so addictive. Okay, we moved on to later on in the show. We moved on to our unpopular opinion, which was iPhones are overrated. We have so many comments here we need to get to. So, guys, here we go. Rafelka said, an iPhone has its good points, but it's not worth the price. I would agree with that. I think they are. Min mentioned this as well. I think they are way overpriced. All Apple products are way overpriced.
Yes, you have the plus of the brand, as you said before. But I have to admit that it's a very good quality devices. It's very good quality, even though it has leaks. We say leaks. Debilidades.
Oh yeah, weaknesses.
Weaknesses. Weaknesses. I had those, but they are very good.
For me, most of the weaknesses are actually built in to the phones themselves. For me, a weakness is you can't plug it into any computer and access your files.
No, but that's going to change in iPhone 15. It's going to change. Because European Union has stated that all the devices had the same plug.
The same connector. Thank God for the European Union.
Exactly.
Yesterday we had a piece of news as well that the EU is forcing mobile phone manufacturers to have batteries that users can change, which I think is a very big positive step.
For me as well. For me as well.
Okay, let's continue on with these comments. Rob is a dissuader. No.
What's that?
A dissuader is someone who convinces someone that their idea is wrong.
I agree.
Well, a persuader would be that. A dissuader is
persuade,
the opposite.
Okay.
Just kidding. I owe you the compelling arguments for a life-changing experience in my family, says Pedro. I convinced Pedro's family to stop making the bed.
Wow.
That's a personal win for me.
So I didn't convince you.
No. But you did convince me to do my laundry at a higher heat. Since then, it's magic. My clothes are actually clean now. Natch thanks you for the smell in the room. Anyway, let's continue. Not true. I have a Samsung, and I swear each Samsung I've had lasted at least 5 years, says Symbol.
Oh, really? It's not my case. I love Samsung, and I only almost always had a Samsung, but it lasts 2 or 3 years.
I think the last Samsung I owned, it was maybe 7 years ago, because I was in the Canary Islands. And that was the last one I owned. I'll admit it lasted a long time. I don't think quite 5 years, but a long time. And it was a good brand and a quality mobile phone. And I am a fan of Samsung, but the prices, again, I feel like I'm buying the brand and not the phone.
You are buying both.
Let's continue. Min. For me, it's mainly the price. They look... no, we've read that one. Okay, let's continue. Min says the previous Samsung had the previous Samsung for 5 years. Have my current one for 5 as well. That's awesome. Okay, so Samsung obviously producing better phones than we thought, according to the chat. MJ Symbol says yes. White lies. ¿Cómo se dice white lies in español?
Mentiras piadosas, I think.
Mentiras piadosas.
Is it, Nacho?
Yeah. Okay, I need to remember that, Nacho. Add it to my lexicon so I can get more nivelazos. That's my...
Oh, it's true, Nacho. Where's the nivelazo?
That's the game Nacho and I play. He tells me how to say something correctly. Then one show later, I use it. And I get a nivelazo. Okay, let's continue. Android phones can do much more than iPhones. Agreed, they can. I stopped getting iPhones and turned to Android ever since the iPhone 3G came out. I don't regret it. Me neither. I had a very early... It was not the one, maybe the 2, 3, I can't remember. It was the last one I owned. Because I couldn't plug it in and access my files on my computer.
I mean, I can deal with it.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with the photos issue. So if someone in this world has the answer to that, I would like to know it, because it's the only thing it makes me not to buy an iPhone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really? That's the only thing?
Yeah.
Dude, I would never... I think if I owned an iPhone for 20 years, I would never take 10,000 photographs. Never.
Wow. Me each 3 months.
Yeah, because you've got your partner taking photos of you all the time.
No, he takes me photos with a camera, with a reflex camera.
Okay,
and the result has nothing to do with the mobile.
Again, a moment of silence for all those guys who go on holiday.
There are some guys that loves doing that.
No, Coco, come on. There are no guys that love doing that.
I'm going to talk about my partner.
There are guys that love their partners, but no guy loves doing it. It's like one of those things. Are you sure you're happy doing this? Oh, yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
it's a treat. Un reto.
A challenge.
A challenge, yeah. Maybe it's a challenge for them just to take better photos each time.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah. It's a challenge for them not to get into arguments. I just need to keep Coco happy. Let me just take 15 photographs.
No, I mean, when I say that I have more than 10,000 photos, it means that I have screenshots, I have photos from WhatsApp and all that stuff. And in iPhone, it's all in the same folder.
Yeah, no, that's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, let's continue. Pedro, I agree that iPhones are overrated, but I'll continue to buy them, especially after we integrate all chargers and are able to replace batteries. Thanks, EU. Yeah, God, the European Union creating change all over the world. These great changes that they make force the same changes in the United States. Well, we basically all over the world. The EU is responsible for some great digital actions. Not only the USB-C chargers or the interchangeable batteries, but also GDPR, which is terrible for a business in marketing, but great for a consumer. Not to be receiving so much spam from companies.
Do you remember what I told about influencers? For me, those people, I know 2 people who worked in Google, and they founded SeedTag, and it's an enterprise who avoid cookies, but instead of that, they gives people a personalized publish.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, those 2 men are influencers.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Okay, interesting. I get it. Okay. I understand you don't like the word influencer.
Perfect.
You're an influencer, okay. It's true. We don't have a better name. Like internet famous, is that a way to say
content creator, Instagrammer.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Instagrammer, okay. But then everybody's an Instagrammer.
No,
but
it's
not
a TikToker or whatever.
But not everybody has
content creator, do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it. I like it, but it's just such a nebulous term. It's not defined enough. No. Do you know what I mean? For businesses brands will work with you because you can influence people's style. Do you know what I mean?
That's okay. Yeah.
So that does make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's continue on here. I had the first iPhone that did not come out in Spain, says MJ Symbol. Pedro, Rob tends to hide their guests behind gigantic microphones. I moved the microphone so you could better see Coco. My bad, guys. If you're not watching live, by the way, twitch.tv/professional bohemian. And here we are. Let's see. €599 Mac Mini at the most well-known department store in Madrid, says MJ Symbol.
Yeah, that's true. You know, last year I went to Apple store and the treat was great. I took an iPhone and it lasts 1 week because I couldn't...
You already filled up 10,000 photos. I've had this for a week and I've no more space.
I couldn't... No, kind of, you know. So I took the mobile with all the... You know,
the box and all the packaging.
And the la funda and all this stuff to protect my mobile. You know what? They give me back all the money, even the funda one. So that would never happen with anything. But they they have good
customer service. I'll give you that. But for a company
exceptional.
But for a company that kind of plans obsolescence within their own devices, I would say that's a failure. of customer service.
No, because they can sell the mobile phone in other
places. But for example, you own an iPhone. Up to a certain point, you can't install the new operating system because the device is too old. The same thing happens with Apple computers. Up to a certain point, when the device becomes too old, the computer or the tablet, you can't upgrade the operating system. You actually need to upgrade the device itself. You know what I mean? That for me is planned obsolescence. You know what I mean? ¿Cómo se dice planned obsolescence, Nach?
¿Se queda obsoleto?
No, it's when they build in a feature for the product to go out of date. For you to need to replace it.
Programan la obsolescencia programada. Yeah, I hate that. And you know, I studied economics degree. Over there, they taught us that, for example, there are companies that makes, imagine a washing machine. And they make two types. Ones that are most expensive and put a chip over there just to get
so it breaks
earlier, but those are more expensive than the other ones that last more.
I'm completely. I always buy cheap things. That's my motto in life.
Cheap, but those cheap things for you are expensive more expensive for the companies.
Exactly. But good. I mean, no one should be making a product nowadays that A, you can't repair yourself, which is the case for many, many products. And B, that breaks or it becomes unusable just because of a software update or because...
Do you think European Union or other institution is going to forbid that? Yeah,
I hope so. I hope so. It'll be very difficult to prove, you know, but I hope so. Okay, let's continue on here. Pedro, the EU is essentially forcing Apple to be more accessible brand. Probably less profitable for them, but nicer for consumers for sure. Exactly, and less technological waste. Rob, I think it would be great to talk about influencers, but without an influencer on the show.
Because 1 year ago, I heard some programs hearing you talking about that.
Yeah, influencers.
But I was agree. I was agreeing.
Yeah, and since then you've grown a lot. I remember when I first met you, you had under 10,000 followers.
I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. It's true. It helped me a lot. What I told you.
Yeah. I need to work harder on Instagram. I work too hard on my show though. That's the problem. Here we go. White lies. I prefer mentirijas. No,
mentirijillas.
Mentirijillas. That's good, okay. Thank you, Symbol. Let's give him a nivelazo, Nach. Come on.
Nivelazo.
Oh, so you know where the button is. You're just not using it, Nach. Okay, I get it. Thank you. Min, it just depends on what they get back for taking 200 photos, says Min. Yeah, that's true. There's a bargain. There's some kind of bargain going on there. If your man is happy taking photos of you, like, okay, just take 100 photos while I walk down this street. There is some kind of exchange.
No, it's not.
There has to be something. I'll make you dinner tonight, sweetheart.
No, I can't cook. So no, it's I see his face and he's so happy when the result is very good.
Nach is laughing right now.
He's not. He's drinking water.
Yeah, I know Nach. I can see it in his eyes. Nach, he's so happy when he's taking photos. You know when they go on holiday?
When you cook, imagine when you cooked to your wife or to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Do you like cooking?
No. Well, yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about taking the plastic off the pizza and putting it in the oven, it's enjoyable experience.
Okay. But have you ever cooked?
Yeah, I have. I've cooked.
For another person?
Yeah.
It made you happy, not because of the fact of cooking, but because you what you love is just seeing the other
person happy.
Yeah,
I don't believe in altruism in that sense.
No,
it makes life a lot easier.
So you don't believe in love?
I do believe in love to a degree. Yeah. To a degree, I don't think love lasts forever, though. I don't believe in love the way it's portrayed to us in Disney.
Love evaluates as as anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think love, what it ends up becoming is a partnership that is something a little more deeper than what love is portrayed as in Hollywood movies, you know?
No, not at all.
So I think, I don't believe in love in that sense. It's just butterflies and rainbows.
Well, that's the beginning. But then it is a team.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I believe you. In the first 2-3 months, when it's caliente, you know what I mean? When it's hot. And you're like, take some photos of me while I walk down the street.
Sometimes it's him who asks me, do you want to take photos? Because, okay.
You know what I'm hearing? He's very well trained. I'm being so mean. I'm sorry.
Maybe there are men who loves taking photos.
There are.
But
of course there are.
It's true that it's very difficult to find someone who loves it.
Yeah. No, I'm being mean. I'm being mean. It's just I've seen it when I go on holiday. You just see girls posing and just boyfriends there like, oh God, please let the pain end. You can see in their eyes they're in their happy place. Just okay. Let's just take these photos. You look so beautiful.
I'll admit that I think it's the most common. The most common is that.
But I would say there's a difference between you and the majority of those cases. Like for you, it's a lot more of, well, I know it's not your full-time job, but you work with brands, you know, you do, you know what I mean? It's much more professional than what you see. I'm talking much more about the kind of, like I've had to do it. I mean, have you ever had to do this, Natch? Like, have you ever had a phone passed to you? Take photos for Instagram. That's happened to me a ton.
No.
Oh, dude.
I think the worst is that it's not only 1, 2, or 3, or 5 photos.
Yeah.
It's just that for me, in my case, if I want a photo, a very good photo that I like it, I had to take 100 like that.
Yeah, wow.
That's the difficult part of taking photos.
I want to. Can I officially put forward Coco Lavanda's boyfriend for a Nobel Peace Prize? Because I think he deserves one.
You know, something I must have something exceptional just to have someone next to me. That's
right. Do you know what that says about you? It says you're a good person. If you've got
he is.
Yeah, if you've got good people around you, it means you're a good person yourself. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. Rob, there are infinite permutations of love. Yeah, I agree with that, Pedro. I agree with that. I just don't think we're shown infinite permutations of love in the media. We're shown one very clear thing, which is magic and ¿cómo se dice? Fuegos artificiales. Fireworks. Yeah, Natch, you know, fuegos artificiales. I remembered it in Spanish first. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That was weird.
You know, and it's not always like that, I don't think. You know what I mean? And I think people get frustrated because they have this expectation of what love is, and then it ends up being something very different.
Yeah, for me, the most important thing is that love must be a team between you and the other one, and fight against the world all together, not one against the other one.
Yeah,
with a
I
third
understand.
person out there.
Yeah, completely. I mean, Insta might just have had its time. Facebook had too many controversies. YouTube and Twitch are absolute champions at shooting themselves in the foot. True story on all accounts. TikTok will probably crumble in the West once governments start taking action. Isn't it interesting how here in the West, TikTok is being demonized? But the other companies, like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, who steal our data.
Yeah, this is American.
Yeah, and ship it overseas. American companies. No, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
But the Chinese company that's doing the exact same thing, no, they're bad.
Exactly, yeah.
Come on. Let's see. White lies. I prefer... Oh, no, we've done that one. All right. Pedro, Patricia, Rob is right. You have to know your partner simply considers taking all those photos as a minor inconvenience.
Rob will approve.
Yeah, in exchange. Yeah, exactly. In exchange for having your company. Natch, come on.
Thanks, Pedro.
It's true. It's true. There is no... Let me tell you. Come on, Patricia. There is no man that is... that, you know, you go to a beautiful beach. Oh, look at the beautiful sunset. Take my camera and take photos of me while I walk across the sun. There is no man that does that happily for half an hour on his knees taking photos. there's no
maybe in that context, no, it's better just to profit the experience of the sunset. But if you go in purpose,
specifically to
the so it's different.
Do you know what would be a fun activity this Sunday, Natch? Why don't me and you go to the Royal Palace and you can take photos of me while I walk around? Look, I've heard this is a good activity, Natch. He doesn't look convinced.
But you know, because you don't like taking photos, maybe there is someone who loves it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Oh my God, you know what? We're running out of time for all the rest of the sections, guys. We're gonna keep on chatting. I'm having too much fun to go and do all the regular stuff. So we'll do the other sections, the interactive sections, in the next show. Let's see. I have Rob around me. What does that mean? Yeah, that means you're very lucky, man. It means you're very lucky. Pedro, my brother suffers that a lot with my sister-in-law. Poor man. I only say that because I know they're not listening. They're in Brazil. Or maybe they are listening. Sorry, Diego and Mariela. Just saying. We are trying to get Coco to doubt her man. No. Dude, no. I want Coco's man. If this is true, I will switch teams and I will be competition. He seems like the nicest guy in the world.
I think so. I've never met a person like him.
Yeah.
If I want to find a default, I don't find it. Yeah. He does things that I love, and the opposite. So I think we are a team.
Yeah.
And you know, if there is something that we are not agree, there is no problem. We just argue that, and it's okay if you don't think like that. It's no problem at all. But for me, as I told you, the most important thing that he has is that I feel that he's on my team.
Yeah. Has that been an issue for you in prior relationships? That certainly has been for me, where you both seem to be opposite. Like when you, oh my God, really, Natch? Is it the end of the show? Oh my God. Coco, you have to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Not just for the excellent conversation, but also for the bollos and the coffees that you brought. Guys, many thanks for being here. We'll get you back again one day.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys, for joining us in the show. Of course, thank you, Natch. Guys, sorry we couldn't get to complete the news or 100 humans. We got carried away in conversation, but that, you know what that is. That's an excellent show. Good morning, Chris. Guys in the chat, thank you so much. Guys, there are so many things you could have been doing this morning, but instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with Natch, Coco, and myself, and it means the world. See you next time.